Work Hype Wednesday.
Well, Jay, I'm in a new room again.
You're in a new room, Russ. Look at that curtain.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I kind of like it. Adds some nice texture to the background.
That's right. You got a lamp in the background.
So
Something
I'm
over your head that I can't quite make out.
oh yeah, it's a little. I don't even know what's on it. It's a shelf. It's got some plushes up there. Not mine.
There you go.
I'm currently in my wife's younger brother's old bedroom. We have moved into my wife's parents' house. We have sealed up the wall between our condos, and we are going to be selling them very shortly.
Sweet.
Let's see. I was going to pull up. Here's a picture of the sheetrock job of the wall.
Look at that wall.
So we got to paint it, and then we're going to hang some like coat hooks on it, so it kind of looks intentional, like it's framed in.
Almost like a what do they call those launch pads?
Right. Yeah. Maybe put like a table there or something to throw your keys on.
That's right.
So we did that, and then I did do a quick video of the kitchen, which got set up today. So you have the
Say that.
hallway, and then we did the little kitchen layout. So we hung all the cabinets, and yeah, the living room's going to be right there, and then you have the open kitchen, kind of galley kitchen, but
Cool.
just feel a little more open. So we kind of been working on that, and then
Like that wallpaper.
yeah, it's the same wallpaper that's in the other condo, so they kind of mirror each other.
Yep. Fancy pantsy.
Steph's all about the wallpaper. She's picked out quite a few for the new house and was
There
showing
you
me.
go.
There was a pretty neat one that was like black with like these like splatters on it of like gold and silver
That's cool.
that she liked, and I was like, oh, maybe that could be, the hallway into the game room area or on the ceiling or something like cool.
Yeah, we just redid our bedroom not long ago, as you guys already may know, because my game room got half sized. But
Yeah,
it's all good. Haley deserves it.
that's it.
So I tell myself.
But yeah, I was working on going to the condo today and just kind of getting some stuff to bring over here. Clothes, certain things that we forgot. We are leaving some stuff there to like stage the condo. So like our bed's
Right.
still there, couch, um, entertainment center and stuff like that. But I was trying to bring stuff over to also live stream. So I live streamed last night, my normal time, and I was having issues with the live stream because I couldn't get the like wired internet to work. So I had to do Wi-Fi, and it was just like lagging because the router's like downstairs and I'm upstairs. So today I had to do a bunch of troubleshooting, and I got the wired internet to work, but it's not very fast internet. So then I had to drop my live stream down from 1080p to 720 and switch some of the settings, and then it was finally better.
Yeah, that sucks. I hate technology issues,
Yeah.
as you know.
But we got it working. I'm set up here. Gwen's in the room behind me here. And then there's another bedroom down the hallway, and that's where we're staying. And there's a bathroom and everything up here. So it's set up pretty nice to be upstairs. It's just a little bit getting used to like being in the house, knowing like I don't
Other
know.
people are
Yeah, like how to like if I want to cook, or like do I load the dishwasher? Like how does this work? And if her mom's here, like is it cool if you watch the baby if I run out? Like I don't know.
right. How long
So
do you have to be there? Do you have any idea?
we don't have an exact estimate time. We're assuming about a month, maybe 6 weeks,
You'll
maybe
be
like a
ready
month
to
and a half.
the house when it's all
Yeah,
said.
it's all basically up to when we can get the flooring put into the new home. Dad's working on a bunch of projects there that he has to complete before the people come over to do the flooring. And once they bring the flooring to the house, it has to sit inside the house for like 10 days to like
Right. Adjust to the temperature,
right and then install it. So
expand, contract, and all that jazz. Yeah, we have the same
exactly.
thing too.
So once we get a date for that and they're like, we can go, then it's like 2 weeks from that date, essentially.
Gotcha.
And then we can start bringing. But he did say um, the game room should be done probably, I would say maybe a week, week and a half. It's all sheetrocked. He was going to finish up taping tomorrow, and then we can get primer on there. And
Yeah.
then he bought, so the subfloor in there is just like super thin plywood. So he ended up buying a bunch of sheets of this, like, I don't know what kind of material. It's like sawdust that's compressed that kind of looks like plywood.
Okay.
That's all going to go down on the floor. So I have to bring that all upstairs. Then the flooring is going to go on it. So this way it's nice and strong and secure.
Gotcha.
So then once that's done, then I can just start bringing stuff up basically.
Yeah. Sweet. You have a massive game room.
I won't be able to do stuff because we won't have internet because we're obviously not
Yeah.
get internet.
But but at least it'll look cool.
Yeah, I mean, I might be able to film some stuff there. Of course, I've been filming, um, like the progress. I'll probably be putting out a YouTube video maybe in a few days or so of like the early steps. It's me going to the house for the first time, showing the space, and then kind of a little not destruction, demolition of
Yeah.
the game room in progress. I did put out a video on my like members only in Patreon that was just raw of me just kind of showing it. And was funny, I forgot if I mentioned it or not, but I put it up on YouTube and I thought I clicked members only and
Yeah, because
switched.
I tried to watch it and it was like video no longer available. And I was like, dang.
Right. So like 40 people got to see it and I was like, ah, this is supposed to be for like behind the scenes that people are like subscribed for. So I'm gonna do an edited version of that that's a little bit longer for everyone to see. So that would be like part one of the new game room.
Russ gave it away for free to 40 people.
But
Russ, you sent me a text yesterday. Do you remember what that was?
oh, I was like, hey, Blink 182 put out some new music.
I know, and I'm sorry, but I have to bring it up because that's what I do. But yeah, so this was like 4 or 5 clippets of some songs, like 30, 40-second clips.
Yeah, so it sends
Um,
you to a YouTube playlist of 4 songs, and it's about 30 seconds of each song.
and it was only up for 182 minutes, but luckily someone ripped it and it's still on the internet, so you can
Of
still listen
course.
to it. But there were a couple songs that really like I was like, "Oh man, this sounds freaking sweet." One of them he's talking about like the spirit of the 90s, like when punk was independent and then it wasn't. I think those are the exact lyrics. And that song sounded really cool. And there's one song called like it's like "Take Me In, Take Me Now, Take Me Anywhere, I'm So Down." And I was like, man, those two songs just sound so rad.
Mhm.
So I don't exactly know when that comes out. That deluxe, I think it's the One More Time deluxe album. It's supposed to be out this month.
Yeah, I did hear something new. Like, I didn't know if it was gonna be an EP or something because they did play a new song on the tour. Because
Yeah,
I was like, "I don't remember this," and they were like, "That's a new song," and they were even saying, like, "It's not even mixed yet," like,
right.
so I was like, "Oh, okay," but I guess the deluxe album makes sense. They could do a release and then have 4 extra tracks on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. They did a California deluxe album, and the California deluxe album had a lot of extra stuff. So I'm kind of hoping for 10 songs minimum,
Mhm.
but we'll see. Either way, I'm excited. And and this is also just a little side note. I saw today that they had to cancel 2 shows, so we got lucky, Russ, that we saw ours because Tom's sick.
Oof. It's
Yeah,
gotta be tough being on tour and getting sick, and you're a singer.
yeah.
You're singing every
And
night, like
well, and think about it too. You put have to. I'm sure I'm not a performer, but I'm sure you have to put so much energy into a performance. You're moving around, you're trying to be funny, you're trying to look cool and look good, and like it's probably really hard to fake that if you feel like crap.
right,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, because every time I have a sore throat or any kind of like sinus congestion or runny nose, like I'm like a baby. I'm like, just kill me now. My wife's like, suck it up.
Suck it up,
So I
buttercup.
couldn't imagine trying to do like a 2.5 hour show and pretend everything's fine when I feel like crap. And
Yeah.
even at our show, I saw Tom spraying some stuff in his mouth. So I was wondering if he was already having issues early on
Oh,
and it
maybe,
finally
yeah, they
caught up to him.
have, like, a little, numbing spray you can
Yeah,
spray in your mouth if it's hurting
something.
singing.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I had to mention the Blink news. Sorry.
The other day, my friend went to a concert, which was at City Field in the Mets play, and it was Green Day and Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, Green Day and Smashing Pumpkins?
Yeah, and I'm not 100%, but I think Rancid opened up the show, I wanna say, because I think Rancid is on tour with Green Day.
I'm gonna be seeing the Smashing Pumpkins this month. I don't remember what the day is though. It's on
Oh,
the
okay.
21st.
I don't
Um,
know how if it was just a one-off thing or if it was a tour or whatever, but, big stadium there, and I was like, "That's" I told my wife, and she's like, "That's an odd lineup," where it's like, okay,
yeah,
Rancid and Green Day, sure, that makes sense, but, like, Smashing Pumpkins, they were both
yeah,
around in the '90s, but
they were. Just seem
different.
don't seem to go together very well. Yeah,
Right.
kinda weird.
Some other music I was listening to, The Offspring has 2 new songs out, which is, they're pretty good tracks. I kinda dig it, and then I was listening to they did, like, a 15th anniversary re-release of one of their older albums, so I was putting that on, and I was like, "Yeah, I haven't heard them in a while," and I did play the new Mess put out some new stuff too, but
Oh, wow.
I can't really get into it too much because
Not a fan?
it's just Tony, so, like, the what was it? I think it was the other guitarist was his brother or bassist, I can't remember now, but he did backing vocals or sometimes he even did full songs and stuff, and so he's not there, so I'm like, it's kinda missing a little bit with there, but he does have a song with, Jarrett from Bowling for Soup does, like, guest vocals, and I think a few other ones. It's not bad, but I don't know if I would listen to it a bunch.
The first Blink show I ever went to see was Blink and Newfound Glory, and Mess was on a little side stage,
Oh, okay.
outside, and I was like, "It was pretty good."
Yeah, I mean, I got to see him a few times for sure and really enjoyed their first couple albums.
I think he went to jail for a while for something.
I think so. He also got hurt, like, back injury
Mhm.
for quite some time. I think they were on Warped Tour. He was on the, Mike Herrera podcast, Mike from MXPX.
Yeah,
So I listened to that, and he kinda explains it all and, tough being on tour and then getting injured. Like, I think he got injured while they were touring in Canada or something crazy like that, so then it's, like, hard to, like, "Is my healthcare work or they have free healthcare over there? Do I just stay here?" I guess
yeah, yeah. It's funny though, people in Canada still wanna come to America for surgeries.
guess not
This
better
one's not
doctors? I don't know.
great. It's better.
Definitely thinking of all these new bands and stuff makes me kinda miss Warped Tour for summer, right? Summer, and it's like, the summer, reminds me of Warped Tour.
Yeah, yeah. I think Warped Tour now would be challenging for me. I'm very, oh, for lack of better words, old. Like, I think that would wear me out.
Oh, like an all-day festival?
Yeah, yeah, I'd be like, "Oh god, I'm over it."
There
So
was, my friends went to this here, and I was like, "Oh, I totally woulda wanna go," but it's called Sad Summer Festival.
oh, yeah?
It's got Mayday Parade, The Maine, The Wonder Years, We the Kings, Real Friends, Knuckle Puck, The Somerset, Hot Milk I never heard of,
That sounds gross.
Daisy Grenade, I never heard of these bands, but
DNA Bleach.
right, these
Knuckle Puck
bangers.
sounds cool.
We've
I
actually played
honestly
with Knuckle Puck before.
I could give a crap about the rest of them.
So they're let's see, what is it? Today's August 8th, so they already played in Philly. They're playing in,
Maryland.
Maryland tomorrow, and then August 10th in Jersey. So by the time you hear this, it's already good done, but maybe you're going to it. It looks pretty fun. Good lineup of bands for sure.
Yeah, see, none of those bands do anything for I don't know anything from any of them,
What?
except
You know the we
I know We the Kings.
okay.
"Run, baby, run,"
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
song,
Yeah.
but the only reason I
Uh,
know that song is because iTunes gave it out free one time, many, many years ago.
well,
It's
it was
about
like trending on like TikTok, and I think they re-released it, or like they were trying to play it off as like, "Thanks for checking out our new single." Like, check Yes Juliet or whatever, and you're like, "Wait, this came out years ago." Guys are trying to dupe us.
trying to build some hype, I guess, you know. Can't blame blame 'em for that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think we're going in 2 weeks Like I said, I mentioned before, we're going to Incubus and Coheed and Cambria in New York.
That would be a good show.
I'm like, "Ah, it's on a Thursday," much like we're recording today. It's like I got work at 6 AM the next day. I'm like, "We're probably gonna get home at, like, 2:30, 3 AM. I'm gonna have to just sleep for 2 hours and go into work."
Oh, yikes.
I'm like, "Why couldn't it have been a Wednesday?" And then I could just sleep in the next day.
Yeah, yeah.
So now
We'll have to get back on track with our episodes. It's my new job has got me kind of like all up in a tizzy. Like it's like now kids just started back school today,
Mhm.
so it's like my kids are in school. I'm working till like 5:30 now, so I don't get home till about 6.
Yeah.
Still trying to find time to work out. I'm trying to also go to bed earlier, which has not been a success. I bet I've went to bed at 1 a.m. the last 2 months, with
Oof.
the exception of yesterday. I went to bed at 11:30.
Yeah.
So just trying to do all those things, and then also make time for the weekly warp pipe.
For the weekly Warp Pod. We do have sometimes coming up with the topics every week back to back to back. Um, it's like we record the episodes usually Wednesday, and it's like Tuesday, I'm texting Jay, like, "What are we doing tomorrow?" Like,
Yeah,
"Can we get
we're
something
not.
going?"
Yeah, I need to be better about throwing ideas at you. So
I mean, even if you guys are listening and you leave in the comments, I put them in my notes so I can
yeah,
jump into those, be like, "Oh, they wanna hear this, like, let's jump onto this topic," because then I can put at least on the social media, here's the topic, and then you guys can chime in or like call into the show if you want to chime in on that topic. You could call in at 949-682-9277. That's 949-682 warp and leave a voicemail and be like, "Oh yeah, here's my thoughts on that."
yeah, yeah. You guys should talk about this, you idiots. Stop talking about Blink 182 all the time, Jay.
Well, at least our Wednesday show here is just like a whatever kind of topics. I have a sign that David Apuzzo gave me that has a Blink 182 when they came around to one of the tours. It's like one of those, like, I don't know, hard to describe, small poster like
Yeah,
signs or whatever.
this one was from the 2002 Pop Disaster Tour. I ripped it off of a uh, telephone line
Hmm.
outside of the Atlanta arena, our
There you go.
our amphitheater.
Yeah, this is
They
as like
made
a
it for a
promotional thing.
really good free souvenir.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Way better than the t-shirts and stuff.
Yep, not pay a thing for it. Super cool.
Oh, I did want to bring up. I did finish watching. I kind of binged the rest of the episodes, but X-Men 97. If you have Disney
Okay, yeah,
Plus.
I got through about half of that. And the only reason I didn't watch the rest of it's because I only had Disney for like a month. I just got it for I can't remember what I bought it for, but I don't have it anymore. So
Yeah, I had watched like 2 episodes, and then I tried to go back, and it was just hard to when I put it on or Gwen would get up or something would
right,
distract me. So the other day, I just had time, and I was able to just, like, blow through it, and I had to make sure, like, when it got to the end, I had to hit, like, "Next episode," and then it would load, and I'd be like, "Skip intro."
right.
Let's start this,
Really be
like,
efficient.
yeah. Because it really starts to get going with the story, and you're like, "Oh, man, like, this is good, this is happening." I'm not gonna
Yeah.
spoil anything, but I was like, "This is pretty cool," like, so we'll
The
see if
last
they keep it going.
the last episode I saw was is his name Mojo? He's like in a video game. He's
Oh,
like a
yeah,
video
yep,
game host.
mhm,
That was the last episode I saw, but I thought that was pretty cool. But I'll tell you, I'm not a comic book reader. I mean, I have a handful, but all of my X-Men knowledge is purely based off the cartoon back in the 90s. So I learned a lot from just the first like 4 or 5 episodes of 97 that stuff I never even knew was part of X-Men lore. So I was like, "Whoa, this is blowing my mind here." I'll just
nice.
say that.
Yeah, so if you haven't checked it out, it's a good one. Jump in. So I was like, yeah, I was trying to think of a series I needed to finish that I started. I never even watched the, I'll have to go back now, we have Netflix, but the new Castlevania one that
Oh,
came out,
yeah, I didn't I started it and never finished it. So,
and I can't even remember the name of it.
yeah, me neither.
Castlevania Nocturne. So it's they're following a
Yeah, different path.
with Richter
Richter, right? Yeah,
Richter
yeah.
Belmont. So I'll have to jump in and binge watch that. And well, this way it's getting spooky season. I guess it's fitting for that.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to re-up on my Netflix for October and go back through that.
Because then I imagine Stranger Things, the final season should be coming out pretty soon. I don't know if it has a release date or anything. If it's this
Yeah,
year,
yeah. I
Stranger
feel like it's gonna be
Things.
weird. Like they're gonna be like 28 years old. Mike, get over here.
Oh, it does say Stranger Things season 5 doesn't have a release date, but it's expected to premiere sometime in 2026.
Oh my
So
god.
it won't be for
But
this Halloween.
here's the problem with that. Who's gonna care by the time it finally comes about? Will anybody care, or is the hype completely dead?
Right, because when it first came out, hype was like everything. So they had to crank them out. And it's tough that the last season ended on such a oh, where's the story going? Like, yes, it's like, okay, let's
Right.
go. Let's get the new seat. They should have shot it back to back to back. Like,
They should have.
I'm unsure of, why that
Those guys, I think a
happened,
lot of
but
those kids got famous, off that, and they got other jobs that may have interfered. And I
possibly,
think,
yeah, shooting schedule.
and I, no, I'm thinking of game. I'm thinking of Game of Thrones, how they rushed at the end because they got some Star Wars job. Yeah, I don't know. But one thing I will say about Stranger Things, the first season, I don't know how they shot it exactly, but the cameras they used, they kind of gave it like a almost like a like graininess to it, so it looked like it was actually shot in the 80s. And I remember watching some interview with the director, and he explained that it was like this specific camera that he used, but I don't think they use that anymore because the longer it goes along, the less like the 80s I feel like it looks. Does that make sense to anybody else?
Yeah, I
Just
can see
mainly
that.
you, since you're the one I'm talking to?
I mean, yeah, I wonder if they shot like on film or something like that. Let's see, I'm trying to look up here to show.
It was I don't know, I love all the, like, little Easter eggs in the background, like, one time they were in Mike's room, and you can see, like, Castle Grayskull in the background,
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, so many of, Easter eggs of that
just like in
time.
my room.
You're like, "Oh, what's he got? They got a Nintendo
And
here." It's
and I also think it works better when they're younger for some reason. It gives me more of those ET vibes.
yeah, E.T., Goonies, like, now they're starting to
Yeah,
be, like, teenagers,
yeah,
and like you said, I mean, hopefully, most of the filming is done because these actors are getting older, so they're gonna
like,
be 3
you'll
years
just be like
older
a
from the last season.
47-year-old Mike trying to hunt down the Demogorgon.
Right, right. We'll see.
I don't know. Who was your favorite character on that show?
Mm,
There's only one answer.
there's only one answer. The Demigorgon.
He was pretty rad. Do you have a favorite?
I don't think I have a favorite that
You
I
could.
was
I
like,
didn't mean to put so much pressure on
yeah,
you by saying there's only one answer. Who do you
I
like?
mean, I guess 11, right? She stands out. It's like you
Uh,
root for her. I don't know.
So I think Steve is the absolute coolest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. He
because you
gets
kind of hate him the first
that
season because he's kind of a douche, but this by the
right.
second season he's like taking care of the kids. He's so rad.
A good redemption arc on it,
Yeah, Steve's cool.
and you're kinda rooting for him to, get the girl and, you're like, "Come on, man."
Also, I had like the hugest crush on Nancy. I thought she was so cute.
She's a good
In
one.
the story.
End of story. If
Good
you wanna
story.
hear about our past crushes, there's an episode of all our '90s crushes.
Oh, there is. Yeah.
Oh, I did end up watching, speaking not '90s, but there is one. So this is on Hulu if we're all talking TV and stuff. If you have Hulu, we already watched through this, but there's a newer series called the what is it? No, I forget the exact name. The Darkest Stories of 2000 or something like that.
Oh wow.
Let's see.
No.
Hold on. S- Stories of
Oh, what was that? I watched
2000
some show too that I may
Hulu.
have brought up. It was about a country club.
Dark Side of the 2000s. Okay, that's the name of the episode. Dark Side of the 2000s, and there's also Dark Side of the 90s. But they basically each episode is a different story. So we only watched a few, but the first episode was that series John and Kate plus 8. If you
Hmm.
remember that, maybe
Don't
not,
think
maybe you
I
didn't watch it.
did.
It was basically this couple that had they had two kids and they were doing in vitro and they ended up then having six tuplets. So they had six
Oh,
more
yeah.
kids.
That's crazy.
So it followed them around and they ended up getting a show, I think, on like TLC and then moved to another network and it went on for a lot of seasons. But you get to see all the dark stuff on it. Like they were actually separated, but no one knew on the show. And then
Oh, wow.
they saw the husband out with some girl. So then they were
Oh
like
my
blowing up all
gosh.
these headlines. But he's like, me and my wife have been separated for 6 months. Like it's not like I'm cheating on her. Like, and
Right.
they wanted them to stay married, like on the TV for the show. And
Right, yeah.
so it was wild. So we got through that. And then episode 2 was all about TRL, Totally
Oh,
Request
Total
Live.
Request
And
Live?
yeah, on
Did it talk about
MTV.
Blink?
They didn't mention Blink. No, it was
'Cause Blink
mostly
was a big
focused.
part of that.
It was mostly all the Backstreet Boys in Sync, how it kind of brought those pop bands to the
Yeah,
top,
the forefront.
and how it started off as a different show, just called I think MTV Live or something like that, and then eventually molded into how the show got people to like call in for their votes
Yeah.
to get the artists. And it was funny they mentioned, it's like, oh, whatever, like Backstreet Boys got 70% of these votes, and they're like, we use percentages because maybe that day we only got 10 calls, right?
Oh,
And that
yeah,
looks better
yeah,
than like
yeah.
they got 7 out of the 10 calls. It's like
That's
percentage looks
funny.
way
So,
better.
like, you could have 2 call or 3 callers, and if
Hmm.
one person gets 2 calls, it's like, "Oh, they got 66.6% of the votes."
Right. So it looks good like that. But yeah,
That's funny.
that was a really good episode. So if you have Hulu, check that one out. And then we did watch one on Charlie Sheen and kind of
Oh,
like
boy.
his ups to downfall.
Winning!
And yes, yeah, I was doing saying that, and
Dude,
um,
crazy.
him on Two and a Half Men. So pretty neat. Dark stories of the 2000s, or Dark Side of the 2000s on Hulu.
I wish I could remember this show I was watching a few weeks ago. I probably mentioned it in the previous Warp Pipe Wednesday, but it's basically about a country club in the '80s. It's a really good show. I can't for the life of me think of what it's called right now. So once again, good story, Jay. And I don't remember what network it was on. Maybe it was on Hulu.
Impossible to find.
Yes.
I did want to watch through. I've never seen
Oh, it's called Red Oaks,
Red
and it's on
Oaks.
Amazon. Yeah.
Okay.
Here, I'll give you a little synopsis real quick.
Hmm.
All right, hang on. Let me get it pulled up so I can read it. How do I see all this? Okay, in the summer of 1985, 20-year-old David Myers takes a job as a tennis pro at Red Oaks Country Club in suburban New Jersey. At his parents, as his parents, girlfriend, and coworkers pull him toward a future, he's increasingly unsure what he wants. Pretty awesome.
Bada boom.
Boom, go watch it.
I was gonna say with the spooky season coming up, I maybe we could try to start watching Twin Peaks.
Is
I don't
that
know if you've heard of
scary?
that.
I thought
I
that
guess
was about.
it's like a murder
Oh,
happens
okay.
in a small town, and then you got the detective and stuff. But I had never seen it, and I think they did a newer season. I think it was only 2 seasons, and they did a newer season like a few years ago to
Oh,
kinda update it. But funny enough, if you ever played the game Deadly Premonitions, it's on PS3 and Xbox 360. They
nope.
take heavy inspiration from that show, how the detective has these certain quirks and acts and all that. And I really
Hmm,
enjoyed that game. So I was like, I'd love to see more of the source material.
cool.
So
That's awesome. I had no idea.
yeah, maybe we'll see. Twin Peaks, check it out.
There you go.
It's what Jay and Russ have been listening to and watching.
That's right. That's what we've been doing. Now you found out.
Now you found out.
Oh, can I give one more shout out to this dude on TikTok that I like?
Oh, okay.
He's a musician. His I guess band name is I Am Rooting for You,
Okay.
and he has one song on YouTube. He has a lot of shorts. But if you like the Postal Service, I think you would like I Am Rooting for You. And the song is called Bones. And maybe I mentioned it a few weeks ago. I don't remember. But uh, I don't know. I want this guy to blow up. He has 35 subscribers on YouTube. And his song is really cool. So
Oh, he's on YouTube and TikTok. Rooting
it's
for you.
Rooting for You. There you go. Yep. Yep. Go check him out. Listen to his song Bones. And when he says, "That's strange, I couldn't get you on the phone," just know that's my favorite line in the song.
I dig it.
Yep.
That's all we got.
That's all we got.
That's all
More
we
Pipe
got.
Wednesday. Hope you enjoy.
Hope you enjoyed it. Check out the weekly Warp
Ready
Pipe.
to Wednesday.
Yeah. Check out the weekly warpipe.com. You got a phone number. We got 949-682-9277. And shout out to our top Patreons. We got Dan and Nicole's Treasures Untold, Joe Sheevy, Trace Living Good, Samantha Chang, Rodney Torres, Retroholic 16, and Austin Mills. You can either support over on Patreon/Russ Lyman, or we did set up a YouTube membership program. If you go to our YouTube page and hit join, there's 3 different tiers that you can do on there, and we'll give you a shout out as well. Cool. Appreciate you hanging out. As always, thanks for jumping in the warp pipe with us, and we'll see you on the next level.